stream, we've got Connecticut up against Colorado, seed 17 versus seed 32. I am Miles, and joining me on this Monday night is Mr. Hubba Wubba. What's up?
Welcome back to the late night, the encore show, we can call it. We got an interesting matchup here. We have the unfortunate bottom seed, Connecticut versus Colorado, battle of the C states. And don't let the seeding fool you. These seeds were based off of ranks, and some of the best players in this five-digit United States Cup are on this team. Ica, ZFR, Grubcat, very strong players in their own right. Just the unfortunate placement of bottom seed due to their rank. And with a fun warm-up here, hopping in the kill hold.
Yeah, USC has always kind of been that one outlier out of like all the big tournaments. They never do qualifiers in this tournament. And some people like that, some people don't. It's a good way for top players to kind of segue into the tourney scene without kind of getting abused by early stage. But unfortunately for teams like Connecticut, that means they're going to be a little bit underseeded and are always going to have to face one of the Californias first. It almost feels like tradition at this point for Connecticut to have to face NorCal or SoCal this year. And unfortunately for them, they had to run up against NorCal in the round of 32, which was an unfortunate 5-0 sweep for them. Meanwhile, Colorado, a little bit of a closer affair, up against Michigan, losing that match 5-3, which brings these two teams down to losers round 1, where they meet now.
Yeah, and this Colorado team also with a number of roster changes. Breath going to be staying on the team, the brick for the team. The introduction of Cinnamon Twist, who's a very strong mechanics player, again, despite his rank. Kind of the theme of these two teams, having some strong D-ranker players. I would imagine this could be some pretty interesting battles on the Hard Rock picks and DPs in particular.
Yeah, another player on Colorado I want to point out is another one of the fake painted koalas. This one is Venpris, former member of USA 4WC on this Colorado roster. But yeah, I fully expect this Connecticut roster to pick into some of the hidden maps to support probably their strongest player overall in Ryunata in the top left there. Very long time, very successful tournament player. One of the best hidden players in this tournament, I would say, if playing at his best.
Yeah, on paper, it should be a quick one for Colorado, but in practice, it's definitely a different story, and it being an early round definitely favors the up-and-coming Connecticut here.
You mentioned Ica and ZFR, two players who really make Connecticut one of the powerhouses in the recently founded 5-digit United States Cup. I think that's in its like second or third year running now.
Yeah, that team slated to be one of the ones that takes home that tournament. And of course, a different story here, much higher skill cap pools and players in this tournament, but looking to have a good showing nonetheless.
You know, that's kind of the vibe of USC. You show up and try your best even when hope is little. USC just kind of feels like that kind of tournament where everyone shows up and tries their best, because it kind of feels shameful to play this tournament and not represent your state with everything you have.
Yeah, making the United States Cup team was definitely one of my happier tournament moments.
And then now we've got another warm-up here. And I can definitely say the same, actually. When I first made Team New Jersey for the first time, I remember I was really nervous because in 2017, New Jersey got top 4. And then in 2018, 5 out of 6 of that roster was returning, and it was between me and another player who was like really good and up and coming at that time, and I feel like I got lucky to get that roster spot. So I just tried so hard to do super well in order to make it up for the other guy not making it, because it feels like every state's community kind of bands together to put out the best team that they can every year for this.
Yeah, I'm excited for there's so many teams this year just with fully fresh rosters. I just commentated the Oregon-Maryland match, and well, that match didn't go Oregon's way. Oregon bumping up their seeding from 19th to 11th with 4 new members that are almost like all 3 digits. Just like big ups from a lot of these teams in comparison to last year.
Yeah, surprising seeing some of the teams that are super high seed this year, like Tennessee being seed 9 kind of threw me for a loop. That team, at least for as long as I've played this tournament, Tennessee has been like a lower seeded team usually. But this year they've got some high ranking players that really bolstered their seed. And that kind of goes to show some of the funny part of this tournament still being just raw rank seeding with BWS applied, because if you have a lot of top players in your state, you have an incentive to just put them on so you can have an easier first round matchup in this tournament. Because it really does make the difference, because the mid-seeded teams in USC are extremely good at some of the earlier round pools, and you really want to avoid playing anyone between seeds like 10 and 20 if you can.
Another interesting seeding result, Maryland seeded 6 last year and this year. Monco left, but Patball and Kama got badges, so they just, like, their ranking stayed the same. And that's even with 15k Gilgamesh.
Yeah, that one's awesome. I think USC takes average off of your top 4 players, so
I see.
So it's just taken from Fatball, Kama, Taro, Kodama on that one. But yeah, this tournament has a few funny players this year. Like, I think Texas is kind of renewed strength this year after being one of the top teams for probably the first 5 years of the tournament running, but then a little bit of a downturn, being outside of the top 4 for a few years, now in contention to win it. Same thing with New York.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, like, popularity of the states as well. Texas as, like, a state to move to in recent years has really been bolstering up. So, of course, a lot of those players new to the roster, Chili Pair and Wowie both moving to the state, formerly Illinois. We will miss you, Wowie, but...
Yeah. Just goes to show how good some of these teams are becoming now. But now back to the topic of these two teams. I think both of these teams missing some of their historically good players now for a couple of years. Colorado, star player, I'm a Fancy Lad, who's one of the best tournament players in the history of this country. Now I think a couple of years out. Same thing with Leftovers on the side of Connecticut, who was a top 2 or 3 4-digit in the United States between 2020 and 2022. So, new look for both of these rosters. I mean, looking at trends at the very least.
Yeah, and Connecticut this year having a potential new carry player in Ryu. You see him in the first slot repping the hidden. He's like one of the strongest hidden players doing it right now, like on these hidden flow and picks. You would imagine he would shred this hidden one. It has lots of number 1s on 7-star tech leaderboards, which is part of the reason why he's so underranked. Just a tech preference player and very strong on whatever he's in on.
And also ZFR on the bottom right, actually the captain of the United States' 5-digit World Cup team. As that tournament has gotten more and more competitive, that's a pretty prestigious role to have, being the captain of 5WC. That tournament's taken really seriously. But yeah, Ryunata, another very long time tournament player, especially good on the hidden, as you said. But yeah, now we are done with the warm-ups. Cinnamon Twist just said hidden 1. I don't know if that's actually the ban of Colorado, but the DT1 ban coming out from Connecticut, 300 BPM DT going away. Makes a lot of sense with their roster.
Yeah, taking out that near 300 BPM aim and burst map. Both of the double times this week, with the exception of DT3, gonna be near under a minute. One of them, the DT2 remaining open, is only like 56 seconds, I think. Just very short mechanics dense picks that Colorado's more than likely to opt into. Very smart ban.
And yeah, it looks like Hidden One will be the ban coming out from Colorado. That seems like a targeted ban towards Ryu. That's Aragami, the stream pick, going out. And Hidden 2 will now promptly be the first pick for Connecticut. The old map on Hidden. And I'm sure you can talk a lot about this one, huh? But you got a pretty good score on this one.
Yeah, kind of fumbled the ending, but so it goes. Plenty of aim in the beginning and end of this map, but the real meat and potatoes of this one is going to be that finger control section in the middle. Lots of doubles and quads to be had there, and if you aren't used to reading air rate hidden, you will be struck out by them.
Yeah, there's the doubles, and then also some kind of awkwardly shaped jumps in the first half before the finger control section that we've seen a lot of people trip up on. But the part where we're really expecting the breaks is going to be the finger control section, as we see Ryu in the top left, probably going to be the player to look at on this, along with Ikenia on the bottom left. And for Colorado, probably expect Venpris to join Crestiv and Mary, and there he is. Crestiv, another very strong low AR player in his own right. Probably going to be the strongest for Colorado in my eyes.
Yeah, Crestiv has really shown up. He was a bit unfamiliar to me before the beginning of this year, but I've been commentating a number of the Duckling Cup matchups, and he took first place twice and has been very strong on the Hard Rocks and Techs, but serviceable on low AR as well, just can do it all.
Yeah, just one of those all-rounders who shows up every year for Colorado and puts in the work. And here we go into the first map. Ryu, Ikenia, ZFR, Mary, Crestiv, and Venpris. See how this first pick goes for the side of Connecticut. Yeah, this is the type of map that low AR players in particular have just been eating up. I think the average accuracy has just been so high on this map for people who are good at the skill set. And you're going to see very quickly who isn't as comfortable on low AR based on the accuracy. As we see a quick break coming out from Mary, the side of Colorado.
Yeah, just a little misaim for them. It's still very high axe across the board. Nobody below a 98.5 to this point. All 99s now on Colorado. But Marie actually breaking again here before the finger control section, and Connecticut kind of running away with this one. Venpris also breaking. ZFR trades it, but it is a 2v1 and Crestiv the only one. The brick for Colorado holding on, just a little bit more of this finger control section holding. And gonna see if anyone breaks on the final handful big stream, and Connecticut holds.
Yeah, good stuff for Connecticut here. Still holding on to the 2 FCs after the finger control section. Ryu and Ikenia probably going to run this one into the end as Marie finds another drop. Clearly not very comfortable on the low AR hidden. Marie is dropping on one of the easier parts of the map, but you know, that happens. Sometimes teams don't really have full rosters for the low AR, and that happens. Sometimes you just have to go in and try your best. But Crestiv still holding on to the double S through all of that. Very good stuff from Crestiv, beating out the insane accuracy from Ryunata. We're going to just see if Crestiv can lock out the SS, but it is going to be a first point on the board for Connecticut off of 2 FCs from Ikenia and Ryu, and that is a double S for Crestiv as well. Very good stuff.
Yeah, similar outcome to the last match, Batball SSing the DT2, but is just not having the backup for it. And the double FCs for Connecticut going to be strong here. Bit of an uncharacteristic break for ZFR, but 2.7 team score, none to be sad about.
All right, come on, ZFR. You got your one. You're going to want to get more than one, especially after you win your first pick. But Colorado is going to go in to the speed with the DT2. They picked both of the songs from Toho 12 instantly in this match. I am now very satisfied. Yeah, this one's a lot of a different look from the previous one. This one, it's a short map, just about a minute long, has also a very strong emphasis on finger control, but this one's going to be more in the other direction on the stamina side. And I'm not sure if Connecticut really has those players, especially without Hidden enabled.
For sure. Yeah, the comfort there is just going to be a bit different, and this being one of the most mechanics heavy picks in this pool, minus like Hard Rock 2, makes a lot of sense for a Colorado first pick. We already see their roster is in Crestive, Cinnamon Twist, and Venpris in the third, and not looking great for Connecticut here just on paper.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of those roster abuse picks where Colorado says, hey, we've got a few players who are pretty comfortable on this map, and I don't think that Connecticut does. We're going to see, we'll call him Zivare and Grubcat to come in to replace Ikania and ZFR on the side of Connecticut. Ryu going to remain in the lobby.
Yeah, I had the fortunate circumstance of going against Ziv in a duelist tournament recently, and that guy's very strong on these 10.3 picks. Pretty much no surprise seeing him come in for this one, and Grubcat being the speed fill for that 5-digit United States Cup team that Connecticut's got rocking. Gonna be coming back here and filling out the third. Actually, Ika switching up for Ryu in the last second. Ryu 10.3.
Ryu 10.3 is real. I mean, hey, that guy, if he practiced this map is not too difficult. I'm sure if Ryu put in the practice on this, he'll be able to get a really good score. And Zivzair apparently wants to play Nomad 1, even though we haven't touched that map in this match. That is Osu client Memento number 18,000. Okay, well, early break come out from Grubcat. Accuracy is already very low on the side of Connecticut. 91 for Ryu, 93 for Grubcat, and 95 for Zivzair. But a drop from Yula at the very start on the side of Colorado, and Venpris as well. Connecticut actually has the lead here, folks. It's only Cinnamon Twist with the combo on Colorado.
Yeah, that standout mechanics player for the team. Ryu's going to break, but not before acquiring a little bit more of a lead. If Venpris breaks again, that may slide back, but Ryu and Ziv going to be breaking still, and it immediately goes right back to Colorado. The big swing in the final FC down for Connecticut. And it is the Cinnamon Twist show here, folks. Holding on to this 95 FC. Accuracy be damned, that boy can combo, and he's comboing for his team.
Yep, and that's going to do it for this one. Connecticut had the lead at the halfway point, but really breaking down on the Ki section, and Cinnamon Twist just holding on to that full combo to carry the team. And it's going to be a successful first pick for both of the rosters. Connecticut, though, I think they still do have some picks left in this matchup. Although that hidden pool is exhausted, I do think they can go down to the free mod pool and have a pretty good time.
Yeah, no more reading in this pool, but plenty of picks for them. I know with Ryu and Ika on the team, ZFR as well, maybe some tech is in their future, a free mod 1 or a no mod 2 option for those players.
Yeah, I really like the free mod option, but they're going to go for no mod 5. We've got this map. I feel like we haven't seen this map that much this weekend. It kind of sticks out in the pool.
Yeah, it's one of the more standard maps in it. We have the Snap Alt Free Mod 1, we have the Rhythm Alt No Mod 3, and then here's our just alone, a normal alt pick here. Plenty of overlaps and wiggles in this one. And it's going to be the Connecticut pick. Makes a lot of sense. Strong on these consistency no mods.
Yeah, and this feels like a pick that's good for the 5-digit players down there. Ikania and ZFR are going to come in and absolutely destroy this map. Ryu, I would say the same if Hidden is on, but it's always been a question mark for Ryu when Hidden isn't enabled. That guy is such a beast on just about everything with HD, but when you take it off, it's always been a bit of a question mark, so maybe looking to rely a little bit more on Ikania and ZFR for this one.
He is just like me, for real.
Hidden preference stays winning until you have to take off Hidden.
You wouldn't catch me dead without it. Like, I cannot, man. But it's gonna be the same roster for Colorado here. Actually, Crestive swapping for Yule at the last second, but Crestive gonna be back for this one, as well as Cinnamon Twist and Venpris. Bricks holding it down on the bottom of this Colorado 3.
Curious to see how this one goes, because both rosters definitely have the firepower for this type of map. It's probably a little more contested than you would want for a second pick on the side of Connecticut, but it's something that definitely plays to their strengths well enough for me to not question this pick at all. But first, they've got to win this, and Colorado, 17 seed, tough opponent.
Yeah, and this one is going to be pretty long, so that early break from ZFR, couple chain misses there while they are below now, could bring it back. It will be a 10k difference because of it, but plenty of time there. High axe on everyone else. And looking pretty comfortable in the early goings. Some of these overlap triangles coming through, not striking out any of the players.
Yeah, one thing about this map, I think we've seen the most misses come in chains, actually, and that is something that can happen really easily on some of these long ult patterns. It's tough to find just that one-off break, but we do see it come out for Mikania. So that's 2 FCs down, and it's only Ryu remaining up against the 3-headed full combo coming out from Colorado.
Yeah, not ideal on your second pick here, but only a quarter of the way in. And for a lead buys, not all hope is lost quite yet. Only 60k here, and we're about to hit our first div spike where we could see, or first big div spike, I should say. All this map is hard, but gonna be seeing maybe a handful of breaks more in this section, and Crestive is the first to drop. It is now 1-2, and that big recovery from ZFR only breaking in that first 100 combo. Maybe a slight combo advantage to Connecticut now.
Yeah, it is going to be a combo lead for Connecticut here. AC lead looks to be about even right now, but Connecticut should very slowly take this lead back. It doesn't go very quick on the no mod, so they need to continue to hold and probably pray for another break, but we're about to go into another one of these build-up sections, and there goes Venpris. Another FC down for the side of Colorado, and now Connecticut would have been about to take the lead back, but that drop from Ryu is going to slow that lead down. Now it's all on the 5-digit tourney players down there. Ikania and ZFR face off against Crestive and Cinnamon Twist with a combo lead for Connecticut. They should take the lead back, but they need to hold on, and they probably would like some other breaks from Colorado to bolster it, because that lead will swing back if any of the Connecticut players drop.
Yeah, real anxious times here as the song builds up during this section, and the big slider going to be taking out Venpris again, so that recovery combo is going to be down, keeping Connecticut at a bit more of a lead here. It is hardly on their side, but any of these combos break, and it will be game over. Cinnamon Twist, ZFR, Ico all holding on, and it seems as though all is well.
Everyone getting through that really difficult transition pattern, and that's really impressive, but we're about to get into the last chorus. This is the last place where you could see some breaks. Ryu drops. There goes DFR. That's the biggest combo gone, the reverse choke. Now Cinnamon Twist, Lobby in the palm of his hands, and Ikania drops as well. Colorado's going to take this one back in a flash off the combos from Cinnamon Twist and Crestive. Cinnamon Twist still on the FC. What a match that guy is having so far.
Yeah, the new addition to the team having a great showing here. If he closes this out, I believe this is another FC, 2 in a row, and very different skill sets.
And that is just a heartbreaker for Connecticut. They had the lead right there, just needed to hold through the ending, and unfortunately for them, they found the breaks, and Cinnamon Twist held on for the FC for Colorado, and that's going to be the early break point for them. Now going into their own pick, probably expect them to go back to the tapping now.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Just a bit of a consistency issue, I suppose, for this Connecticut side, taking or whizzing at that breakpoint on their second pick here. and plenty of skill cap picks for Colorado to play into. If not the Nomad 1, there's the Hard Rock 2 if they want a precision gamble. There's the DT3 if they just want to be a little funky with it. But Nomad 3?
Okay, this is a bit of a curveball because, you know, you win one alt map by just a little bit, one awkward map, but this is kind of something that I feel like Connecticut was going to pick if that last pick had gone their way. So this is kind of poking the bear here, like, hey, we just beat you on that skill set that you picked into us. We're just going to pick the closest thing to that, even if you might also be strong on it. So now Connecticut, a little more pressure on them here. This is, I think, Colorado throwing them a little bit of a bone here. This is something that they might be able to take a break point on if they perform well.
Yeah, this one is significantly more gimmickier and awkward than that Nomad 5. Something I would favor Connecticut on. Also, the lower star rating are more akin to something a lot of these players are used to playing in a tournament. Yeah, I don't know. This seems like I don't know. Like I would have expected Connecticut to pick this whether or not they won the last pick.
Yeah. But then for Colorado, if this does go well, then you take that consolidated breakpoint advantage and you have a sufficient amount of maps of the pool to probably close out this match with something like a Nomad 1 or one of the Hard Rocks.
For sure, yeah. It could be an eliminating the other team's options early thing. Especially you're up a breakpoint, you can take a risk like this.
And it's going to be same roster for Connecticut on this one, Ryu, Ikenia, and ZFR to go up against Justice, Cinnamon Twist, and Crestive. Justice coming in for Venpris. And this is the first I've seen of this player, so let's hope for them that they get a great performance on this one.
Yeah, first time seeing them here as well. From the looks of it, they are a tapping player. This one being rhythm adjacent should be pretty comfortable on it.
This map's finger control and just awkwardness. We've seen a lot of low accuracies on this one, so Justice holding that SS through the very beginning shows some promise. Finally dropping a few hundreds on that little wiggle, but still holding on to the highest accuracy in the lobby, just about tied with Crestive. Up against the relatively low accuracies on Connecticut, Ryu down at 93.5 with Ikenia and ZFR up there at around 97. But Crestive gonna find that first drop. And now, despite the accuracy advantage, Connecticut will be finding a score lead soon.
Yeah, just taking a little bit to get there. For some of these players, the comfort is in, or the discomfort rather, is in the rhythm. Ryu dropping as well as Cinnamon Twist. That is a trade that heavily favors Connecticut now. Is 2-1, but ZFR also breaking 1-1 now. Justice also dropping a bit of accuracy. These accuracies on the FCs are pretty tied up, and there's a slight combo advantage on Colorado with the crest of recovery, but early driver's seat for Connecticut.
Yeah, this is tough though. The lead is only 70k. If more breaks come out, which they do, that's one from Ryu. It could swing right back to Colorado, but the Justice break does come. Now Ikenia, only full combo remaining. Just need to hold a little bit longer to run it into the ending because Crestive did have the combo. It just goes now. Cinnamon Twist at 300 combo to try and take it back, but Ikenia still holding on to the FC and the break coming out from Cinnamon Twist. Despite the break coming from Ikenia right at the ending, it's gonna be the break point going right back to Connecticut. You know, I said this was a risky pick, and Connecticut proving exactly why, and the break point swings right back.
Yeah, that's a big carry for Ica there. The 700k outscoring the second best on Colorado by 200k, doing a number to bring their team back after those early breaks from Ryu and ZFR. And low miscounts on everyone here, 4 being the highest on Cinnamon Twist, who is more of a mechanics player anyway. So great performances all around, just close break point back to Connecticut, and their pick is next.
Crestive, when you don't wiggle the wiggle, perhaps that's what caused the break. Very unfortunate there. One miss with the best accuracy in the lobby. You hate to see it. But for Connecticut, now right back in this match, unfazed by that first break point. And now pick back in their ballpark. And I feel like I'm not too sure what they go for, but they're going to go for the Nomad 2. So going to go for the tech, like you mentioned earlier. Technology. The Keck. 4 minutes of Keck Tech. Is that what we're calling it now?
Keck Tech? When Mir makes a tech map, it's Keck Tech?
It's Keck Tech. Technology.
Yeah, I would imagine Ica hops back in for this one, but they have been running their money with this trio here. Maybe needs a little bit of a break here. Just looking at these players, Misted could potentially fill the spot if necessary. But this Colorado team, same three. Justice going to be staying in for this one.
Yeah, and I mean, Justice was pretty close to a really good score on the previous map, so if he's feeling it right now, worth staying in the lobby. But it's going to be Misted coming in for the side of Connecticut to take Ikenia's spot.
Yeah, Misted popping in for the tech pick, his first showing in this matchup. And Connecticut, momentum on their side now after double break points on each side. Colorado break pointing the Nomad 5, Connecticut break pointing the Nomad 3. This one just running down the Nomad pool here, Miles.
I guess, and I mean, props to them. Don't see many teams love to opt into the Nomad like this. I see a lot of teams very specialized, like picking into things like DT and free mod, or give them the comfort mods. I feel like people these days prefer to go into free mod over no mod by default, but for this match, not the case. Gonna be a couple early breaks on this one. Justice and ZFR trading a couple. I fully expect them to both stabilize on this type of pick. It's a massive change in speed compared to the previous map. This one more tech focused, less reading intensive, less aim control intensive.
Yeah, just a couple of these snap doubles being clocked out, but oh, wait, was that okay? Bancho for Cinnamon Twist. Crestive is a real break, and it is traded by Ryu early. Just a mild. Actually, combos are pretty dead even here. Ryu just up that little bit above Crestive to match the difference between ZFR and Justice. But AC advantage is the main key to Connecticut's lead here.
And that's a double break coming out from Colorado. Crestive and Justice both gonna drop. And there's no breaks on the side of Connecticut to be traded. So they're gonna be able to bolster this lead here. Accuracy playing that massive role in it. 294s, now 293s in a 94. Meanwhile, everyone on the side of Connecticut above 96. ZFR and Misted both holding on to massive combo. Justice finds another break.
Yeah, and Crestive continues to break. Cinnamon Twist being the only big combo on the Colorado side, holding on to the FC. If Misted finds a break anywhere, Cinnamon Twist has been the big carry on so many of these maps in this matchup for Colorado. And Misted does find that break. It's just ZFR. Oh my god. Okay, well.
I feel like we've been seeing so many Bancho misses on this map. Like, I watched another match where this was played, and it felt like half of the misses were just Bancho on those little 1/3 slider patterns. But for now, Connecticut, 3 massive combos, only Cinnamon Twist on the side of Colorado, and the accuracy is not doing Cinnamon Twist any favors.
Yeah, down to 95 versus the double 98s and the 97 on Ryu as we wait for Client to catch up here. But at the pause point, they are up by 240 and probably higher now. Cinnamon Twist of all players is the disconnect.
Oh no, I mean, not positive it's a disconnect yet, but one thing's for certain is that we're definitely out of the range of an abort. But either way, I mean, Connecticut was just in prime position to take this pick. Misted and ZFR putting in the work, and Ryu as well. Misted finally drops, but Ryu and ZFR both there on the big combos. I don't know if Colorado really had much of a chance to even go at this lead. But Cinnamon Twist is back. Maybe just getting trolled a bit by internet, which means we're going to get to watch the Cinnamon Twist show for a bit unless we panic to get him back up to speed. And there we go. Still going to be Connecticut up 400,000 points off of a massive combo from both ZFR and Ryu.
Oh, but is that ZFR break is real, and now it's a 1-to-1 Cinnamon Twist with 300 combo on Ryu after that early break. You have a lot of score to claw back there, bud, but not impossible if they keep on exploding like this.
It's way too late. This is Nomad, and also the accuracy is really low, and they would need more combo on Justice and Crestive, but unfortunately for them, Connecticut should run into the ending with the lead, and I think Ryu would have had to drop earlier as well, which he has not done. Just holding on to the combo. Finally breaking, but the breaks do come in from Justice and Crestive as well, and it's going to be a 3rd point on the board for Connecticut.
Yeah, strong team score on the side of Connecticut here. All of these players, by the end of it, hopping over that 470k, which, I mean, the big carry from Cinnamon Twist is going to be the Storch's Colorado team on this one, breaking at the very end, so close to an FC on this Nomad too. But Crestive and Justice just not being able to play catch-up against Misted and ZFR's big early combos.
Yeah, the well-rounded team performance from Connecticut, everyone within about 100k score of each other in the mid 500k average. Meanwhile, Colorado just with the massive score from Cinnamon Twist, but Crestive and Justice both in the 300ks, not going to be enough. And they're going to instantly pick the free mod too. This map is Tengaku, so that's probably, if you were to define one pure consistency pick in the pool, it would be this one, but it has a few awkward elements to it as well, like some perfect stacks that could trip up some hidden players.
Yeah, and a good amount of tapping in it. I've mentioned in the past that it might not be able to speed cap certain players of teams, but in this case, it actually could. I feel like the aim players and tapping players on these rosters are very divided, and maybe some bursts could cause some low accuracies on teams. Yeah, we're going to be seeing Ventress hop back in for this one. Connecticut keeping Misted on, or will Icarus? Oh, it's going to be Ziv, the main mechanics player for that Connecticut team. Normally playing the DT. He's going to be hopping in this one just because it's a bit faster, and Ica as well, trading for ZFR.
Ryu is going to be a player to watch on this one because it's a free mod. He's going to be able to put on that comfortable hidden where he can just be so lethal. But Colorado must have had a reason to pick this one. They've looked good on the mechanics so far, winning that DT2 by a long shot. So this one, little less mechanically intensive, little more consistency oriented. Probably should still look good. Cinnamon Twist going to be opting into the Hard Rock with Ventress on hidden, Crestive on Nomad to go up against the Zivzare Hard Rock, Ryunata hidden, and Ikania Nomad. Hi, chat, says Ikania.
Hello, chat. You have plenty of Connecticut fans hanging out in the chat right now. Gotta root for these underdogs. This bottom seed team up ahead against the seed 17 is certainly a sight to behold. And hoping to keep that run going. It's going to be Ventress on the hidden. Ryu, unfortunately, breaking early on his own hidden. A little bit of an act drop, a little bit of a hard time adjusting right back to the mod. But Colorado here looking very strong with the hidden SS on Ventress and Crestive 99.6.
There goes Ventress, missing on the stack, as I warned earlier, and there was an early break from Cinnamon Twist as well, so now combo lead back to Connecticut. But yeah, you were mentioning Seed 32 Connecticut feels so weird because they have so many experienced tournament players on the roster as well, as if Zare finds a drop, but like, they are definitely the team that benefits the least from the way USC does seeding, because I know if they had to play at qualifiers, they would at least place like 5 or 6 seeds higher than 32. But Crestive Nomad break, and Painted Koala as well. Venpress dropping, so it's only Cinnamon Twist on the reverse choke to go up against Ryu and Ikania's massive combos.
Yeah, there was a Ziv break in the middle there, but recovering plenty fine as well. Aika holding on to the FC, Ryu the Nearso after the early breaks, and just being the brick on this Nomad here after all these breaks coming in for Colorado. It's only Cinnamon Twist recovery. Once again, the big combo, and on the Hard Rock at that.
Cinnamon Twist has been playing hyper carry so far in this match with the side of Colorado. Has looked so solid on just about every map played so far. Getting some help back, Crestive and Venpress both rocking at some 300 combos to be able to swing at this lead if Connecticut do find the breaks. But right now, they are looking really strong. Ryu and Ikania holding on really well with Ziv there, also bringing the combo back.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that, Willie. Nobody broke on that reverse slider that's been so deadly for a lot of these players after that first TI. All combos being held on for the most part, anxieties being raised as well as these combos are held, and the big burst coming in. Wada hack drops coming through, and Cinnamon Twist as well. The big combo is down, giving Connecticut even more of an advantage as they hold through the section.
And Crestive dropping as well. It's a disaster for Colorado. Connecticut, Ikania, Zivzair, Ryu all holding on strong. Only Venpress with any combo to speak of on Colorado, but Connecticut, they are primed, they are poised, they are in attack mode, looking to steal another breakpoint from the side of Colorado here.
Yeah, and you gotta imagine that if they take this breakpoint, which it almost seems inevitable at this point, or just a quarter map remaining, the only big combo being on Venpress here, they would need a big triple break disaster for it to go back, if even, and they'll be maybe going to match point up.
And you know, I just kind of didn't understand this pick that much for Colorado. They still have DT left in the pool. They still have that Nomad 1. They still have Tapping Abuse, which they look so good on and from that first pick of theirs. And Zivzair gonna find the drop for Connecticut, but it's a 600k lead for them. Ryunata and Ikania still with the massive 1k plus combos going into the ending. We're gonna see if Ikania can hold on to this FC, by the way.
Yeah, Ziv breaking a handful more times, but I mean, Connecticut wins without Ziv's score, let's be honest here. Both of those players rocking on 800k, knocking on 900's door. Ziv plenty impressive on the Hard Rock, but Aika and Ryu with big FCs, or actually Ryu on the recovery combo, but Aika with the big FC on the Tengaku, taking the break point and bringing them to a confirmed tiebreaker minimum. Match point of Connecticut, bottom seed.
And it's their pick as well. This is a second break point for Connecticut. And they have the opportunity to have the second biggest seed upset of this year. We already watched an absolutely insane 16 seed upset, seed 24 defeating seed 8. And now we are 1 point away from seed 32 upsetting seed 17, a 15 seed upset as Connecticut goes for HR1, Future Candy.
I
get it. I get it.
You see the vision?
I see the vision. You're taking Ryu out, but ZFR is going to be able to play a map like this. This kind of like light textile map goes up ZFR's alley really well. And if Ikania and Zivzair, if they're both sitting in the lobby here, I completely trust this pick. But for the side of Colorado, not really sure what you do here on the roster. It's looking like Cinnamon Twist has been the hope so far this match, but unsure how their remaining players will do. But it's going to be Misted to come in for Ryu as Ikania and Zivzair keep their spots.
Okay.
I don't know Misted's skill set that much, so I can't comment on that, but they know more than me.
I'm seeing still in my heart top diff Hard Rock FC in pin.
Oh,
so
okay. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Misted, if you FC that with Hard Rock, then Future Candy should be nothing to you, but going to be exiting that slot 3, so maybe we will see someone else. But Crestive going to come back in for Colorado to join Venpress and Cinnamon Twist in a potential last hurrah here, but ZFR going to come back in to take that third spot. Still good for all the reasons I said earlier. ZFR, very good at this light techie kind of map, and pretty good at the hard rock as well.
And Ziv already proving his hard rock prowess in that last pick, nailing the 650k on Tengaku there. One of the higher star rated maps, highest star rated maps of this match.
Yeah, this map has been pretty divisive, I think, through this weekend. We've seen the most misses definitely coming out during that 1/3 triangle section into the space bursts at around the halfway point of the map. But we've also seen a lot of people just break on thin air on this map. It's definitely one of the hardest maps in the pool. So I think it could be pretty volatile. Cinnamon Twist, who's been performing out of his mind for most of this match, definitely could be getting some solo carry potential if given the opportunity on this.
Yeah, I know from playing in team tournaments with him, hard rock is his comfort, so despite the act drops, should recover just fine, and we're going to be hopping right into this one. This map does not play around. Lots of tricky sliders and snaps here. The overlap's not taking anyone out. The snap quad, though, will be taking out Venpris, and Ica is soon to follow. Just a little bit of an advantage for Connecticut.
But here we go into this little hard style section with some sliders and some doubles. No one being caught out here. Just a couple doubles into a stream here. Will it catch anybody out? It will not. So it's going to be about a 30k lead for the side of Connecticut. Only breaks coming out from Ikenia and Venpris so far, so it's going to be 2 FCs to 2. Accuracy lead heavily in favor of Connecticut with a 97 and a 98 to go up against 97.5 on Crestive and the hardy 93.5 for Cinnamon Twist. But still holding on to the full combo, which is what matters as the lead shifts back to them. But here we go into the 1/3 part.
Ooh, Ziv broke. That will be combo advantage back to Colorado. We missed that as we head into this harder section. Maybe just enough time for that team to save themselves if they get some breaks from Colorado here. As we head into the spaced vertical section, one of the more control-heavy parts of the map, and Ventress will go down again. Crescent, the whole team of Colorado is down. Ica and ZFR hold on through the section. Ica drops, but ZFR is in check.
ZFR, the 5-digit World Cup captain for Team United States and one of the strongest players on Connecticut. Gonna be pushing it forward here, pushing the envelope. It's all but a foregone conclusion at this point that there will be a Connecticut victory in this matchup, a 15 seed upset. But the client isn't really catching up with us here, but okay, here we go. Slower part of the map. All ZFR has to do is hold for a little bit longer and it will be locked up for Connecticut. What an upset, by the way.
Yeah. This is losers bracket as well. Taking the number 17 seed out this early, being the bottom seed team, and with a performance like this, ZFR finally breaks, but not before doing 400k of damage against them. And just no combos to be had on the Colorado side. And unbelievable work from Connecticut here, doing what they need to do. Just one mispick from Colorado shifted the momentum, and Connecticut was able to take these big 3 in a row.
Yeah, and what a devastating blow to Colorado. Connecticut just putting in the work. Hey, I think underrated how well-rounded this Connecticut roster has looked this match. They won all sorts of picks, winning the tech, winning some awkward alt, winning that mechanics consistency heavy free mod, and they are going to be winning the match.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of the wins on the Colorado side were from these carry performances rather than the team score, and that was the difference you see on this roster. Each of the players almost I could just a hair off of 500k, but all of them pretty much reaching that point, and that's been the story for a lot of these. Just one big standout player on Colorado and the others kind of faltering.
And Connecticut, I can't tell you the last time I've seen Connecticut win a match, but great stuff for them. I don't think I've seen them win a match since Leftovers was playing, but now the new generation is here. Ikenia, ZFR, Misted, Zivzair, all putting in the work this match.
Yeah.
as well as Ryu.
The unfortunate reality check now is that Connecticut's prize for winning this match is going against Oregon with Boshiman and co.
Oh, that's a tough scene. Yeah, Oregon just lost a little bit ago. Now down in the losers bracket for Connecticut. And they're going to have to continue to survive now with an expanded map pool. More speed to be picked into them, unfortunately, but still really excited to see how they do in that matchup. But that's going to do it, I think, for the B stream for this weekend.
Yeah, South California versus Minnesota is ongoing, surprisingly enough. Let me see how deep they are into that. It's a 2-3 Minnesota lead right now, so we are going to be sending you guys that way. What is a surprising scoreline to this point?
Is tonight upset night?
Yeah, Please don't beat South California. That means I have to face South California.
That would be absolutely insane, by the way. But I'll say New Jersey did lose to this Minnesota team. My New Jerseyans, I've been telling people Minnesota was different after that matchup, but now the rest of the world should see Minnesota is different, and you guys need to go over there right now. Tune into that. And this is going to conclude the B stream. Thank you all for watching, and have a good rest of your night.
Bye-bye.